So, good day, everybody. Welcome back to the Get Ready Podcast. I have another episode for you as of right now. So, I don't want to spend too much time going over a lot of stuff. So, maybe we'll just get right into it. My next guest is Dakota Ireland, or Gololix. She is a language teacher. She does a lot of great work with the language in Oneida, and she's taken on a lot of other ventures. It was great just to sit down and catch up with her and just to see what's going on. As you might remember, she was on an earlier episode way before, but now she's come back. So she's one of the returning guests, and I want everyone to welcome her in and hope you enjoy listening to the podcast.
I'm going to close this so I don't think about that.
I know I flip mine over all the time so I don't keep it, but it doesn't stop me from sometimes actually still wondering.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, as we were just talking earlier, you kind of mentioned about it. Your work specifically working around the language.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys make a lot of videos? Like,
Yeah.
or is it for like the YouTube channel or like?
Yeah, it's for YouTube. I noticed that we started branching off into personal, well, I wouldn't say personal interests, but basic stuff that beginners can learn.
Mm-hmm.
And also focusing on the kids as well, like, because I made my own puppet, and my coworker also made her own puppet, and they're just, hand puppets, right? They look pretty cool though. I'm impressed. Yeah.
I think I've seen the puppets, and I was wondering, did you give your puppet a voice?
Not yet.
Or is it just like sound like Dakota?
It just sounds like Dakota for now.
Okay.
That voice will change. I only did that for now because at that time it was hard for me to change my voice because I was getting over a cold.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just trying to talk in general.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I think my coworker is just a little bit shy about doing that. So just to keep her safe too, we just...
Oh, you use your regular voices?
Yeah.
I don't know. I figured it'd be like if I was gonna do puppeteering at all, I think it'd be easier.
Yeah.
As opposed to like full. Like if I had a camera right on you, of course it's awkward, right?
Yeah.
Because like you're gonna be thinking about it. Because like when I was doing a lot of YouTube videos for my channel, it was awkward. Even if it was just me by myself,
Yeah.
and I would just have my phone so I can see myself like how I look and everything.
Yeah.
I'd still think this is stupid. Like in my head, I'd be like, "This is dumb. Why am I doing this?" But then I would do it anyways, and after it's done, I'd be like, "Okay." And I'd rarely ever watch back any videos, so I would just upload it and be like, "It's good." Even though if I know, like when I some people were telling me, "Oh, you messed up on that," or "You say weird things," and I'm just like, I don't look back on it. I just let it go. So, so I probably look like a dummy on the internet, but I was like, who doesn't?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be easier. I think it's just being sure of yourself thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know how she kind of is too, and just a little bit shy, and so am I. So
Yeah.
yeah. But we're getting there. We're gonna work at that. So that's kind of the route it's taken. But we've been doing workplace videos, and that's, well, it's in the title. It's, specifically for workplace.
Yeah.
And the program that we started, the pilot project, we didn't get as far as we wanted to with that, but we still did good. Like, a lot of interest and people who want to keep going, and hope that there'll be a better turnout for next year. Because as far as I know, like, it's already in the works, and then we're just fixing little things here and there, tweaking it to make it better.
So it's kind of just like a slow process.
Well, I would say for how much we got done in that amount of time, and not even sure if we're going to get the funding, I think we did really well. We did everything the opposite, whereas most people try to secure that funding first and then try to get everything together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's just a craziness, and 9 times out of 10 it doesn't turn out the way people want, but they do their best, right?
Yeah, of course.
I feel like we were as prepared as could be anyways when we did finally get the funding and they okay to go ahead. But then it was the part that was so pressing was getting people to come out because it was so quick and, it took forever to get approved. And then, yeah, it was hard to get people out on short notice, even though people had, I think it was 4 hours still dedicated. Like, if they came to the 2 classes that they're supposed to come to, and then they plus got an extra hour on their own time, they would still get paid for that, like, as their normal work hours.
Yeah.
So they're not losing out. In fact, they're getting a little break from work to learn language. I thought, well, not just me, but a lot of us thought that was a pretty good deal.
I think so. I mean, I know I work in I don't know, where is that officially? Muncie or Chippewa? Like Nimki.
I'm not sure.
I always kept telling people it was in Chippewa land.
Yeah.
Because Muncieville is like right in the middle, it feels like. So I always just kept saying it was in Chippewa. So, but because I know it's not tied to the same thing, like I know if I worked around here, I know I could probably get that same thing. I guess as long as it's like connected to like, I don't know what kind of buildings you'd say. Because I know my mom was doing them because since she would take her breaks.
Oh, for all band staff and community members in Oneida, it was fine. Yeah. I know that we wanted to reach out to, like, obviously other community members that worked in other communities or in the cities.
Yeah, to come down, but
that's kind of difficult. Yeah, but
I can definitely see the city. Yeah. But some people want to get away from work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if they get their chance, they'd be like, well, this is it.
Yeah. Well, I actually hear now that they're doing more things in the city.
Yeah.
And it's multiple people, so the network's just growing. And in fact, I got asked to be one of them.
Well, like for town?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it would just be a part-time thing. No, it's not. That wouldn't be like my main focus, but yeah, I thought about it, so we'll see how that goes.
Right, because then like you can always, I guess it's a change of things, right? Like you get to change things up from working down here to go back up there to town or whatever.
Yeah, and I feel like, because I've kind of saw what they do up there in their groups, it would give me more opportunity to actually practice what I know and kind of solidify it more.
So in town they're doing Oneida? Like the languages and stuff up there? Where exactly?
I know of Nukikwe. I know they just finished up a couple weeks ago, but they're starting again in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. Yeah, and Namran's still going right now, but it's in the afternoons.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's it right now.
Who is running it?
Different people. Like, I know Ben is one of them. I think Ron too. And there's one of their students that like kind of teach a beginner course.
Oh, like they kind of finished and then kind of are helping out now?
Yeah, and in fact she's already taught one full cycle. I don't know what they are exactly, like 8 weeks, 16 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she feels a lot more comfortable by the sounds of it, so she's open to doing more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine teaching language, well, I mean, you do too, right? So like, but I imagine teaching language is a little more difficult than say like, because when I teach cooking, I guess there is some things you want to teach people like safety and health and everything like that when it comes to cross-contamination, food, fire, and all that stuff. But I don't know why, but to me it seemed like that'd be a lot more difficult to teach language. Because because in a sense too, you want to teach them where they can pronounce it, I guess, properly, I guess, sort of a way.
Yeah.
Like, would that be a big difficulty? Like for like...
Well, from what I've already kind of done too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, each teacher is different, I think, and that's the beauty of that, I guess. For me, because I remember how I learned,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to sound exactly proper
Yeah.
at first, but you have to be okay with that. And I personally reassure people, like, yeah, I know, like, you're probably not happy with the way you sound right now, because I wasn't either when I started. Like, I actually have an old recording, I've listened to recently, and I'm like, oh my God, I sound so choppy and like odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, now it just kind of rolls off the tongue and it's easier to read, and I can just like practice it a couple of times and I have it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or if I hear a speaker say it a couple of times and I'm like, oh yeah, like I pick it up so much quicker now than before. And it just takes a while. It takes practice, consistency, just like anything.
Yeah, it's not going to just, nobody's gifted or something like that. It's just, other people learn
Yeah.
differently, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm one of those people that have to hear it, see it multiple times, I've noticed. Like, if somebody shows me how to, like, when I was in school for culinary, our teacher would show us once.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I would be looking at other people's boards. Like, like there'd be 4 people. There'd be me, someone in front of me, someone on the side of me, and someone diagonally. And I would look forward at what they're doing, and I would look sides just to see what they're doing. Because I would be thinking, how did they do it? And I just like keep thinking, because they would show us how to do everything once, and they'd be like, all right, you go do it now. So I had to kind of just like rewatch other people, and that's how I was able to kind of learn. Before I kind of sort of caught on to their methods, but it was still kind of difficult. So like, in like, I mean, I guess it kind of helps with anything, because I remember being a kid and going to Jingle de Joda when I was younger. And it would be like not just doing the opening constantly every morning, but like also just, I mean, our teachers wouldn't force us to say words, but like they
Yeah.
would encourage us, like wanting to say certain words, like going to the bathroom, or
Right.
the numbers, or we want a drink or something. So like, just be that way better, be a lot easier, I guess, to handle. Just because I didn't think about it till later, of course, that you're learning, I guess, that you're constantly reminding yourself and teaching yourself. So I was talking with Ashley about this before, and I was telling her that there's some words that I've heard so much that I just can't forget it.
Yeah.
Like, there's some words I'm like, oh, I can't remember how to say it, but there's just some words I'm just like, no, that's just like, all the animals in a farm. I can still remember saying that constantly, like all the time. So like, that's something I can just kind of say without question. Like, I'm just more or less like, oh yeah, I can just like name them. Or if I'm looking at a dog, like looking at Ilha or something like that. So like, it's just
Right.
stuff I remember when I was a kid, but now I'm just like,
Yeah.
because I don't think we learned super big words when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because what was that? There was 3 classrooms, and I remember we were in Lillian's class when she was teaching. Because even though, what was it, Marlene Green was the afternoon teacher, and I knew she spoke Oneida, she taught us math.
Oh, really?
I don't know why. Like, I don't know why that was, but we would learn language in the morning, and in the afternoon we'd do math.
That was my question. So when they taught you math, was it just in English?
Yeah.
See, that would have been a perfect opportunity to use the language. You could have still learned math, but in Oneida.
Yeah. Like going
And
through all the numbers and
yeah,
just
and
like,
learning like just adding and subtracting too. I don't know, just doing this program I'm doing in Toronto too, and like learning about how Waldorf practices are and reading up on Rudolf Steiner's work. I'm just like, wow, why isn't more people doing this? Because they have it's a real interesting approach to teaching kids and just your life in general, the way humans are.
yeah. Huh. That's something I was gonna ask. What is Oneida, Wisconsin? Is their wording different from ours down here? Like, have you noticed that?
Some things are, yeah.
Is there a reason for that exactly, or
I
like?
don't know for sure. Well, I know for sure that a lot of people from New York and Wisconsin, but I would say more New York, they call here to consult with the speakers here because they don't have any.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, I mean, because don't quote me because I don't know for a fact, but I don't think they have speakers in Wisconsin either. So they're just going by what they learned by the book and through linguistics, which isn't wrong. They're trying, and that's what matters. So that's what I think it is. But it would be good if they could all get together again like they used to, from what I'm told anyways. They all used to have a meeting together, and they would discuss words that could be used or should be used or whatever.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, almost like it could be a yearly thing.
Or every few years if it's difficult.
Yeah, just to kind of update and go through everything. Do you think it would benefit to start adding new words? Like, is there a thing? Are they doing that right now?
There is inquiries, yeah.
Like, I mean, is there a word for phone? Since
not specifically a cell phone.
Because since everybody's got one, right? You think they would add it? Because I've heard of arguments of the older generation saying, I don't know why we wouldn't, but should, and then some say we should because why not add words anyway? Right.
Well, this is this is my personal thoughts on that. I think that's okay, like if you want to know the words that people come up with, you know, for the new items out there, because it is inevitable. We live in a technical age now, you know, lots of technology, phones, laptops, television. Well, we have words for that, but anyway, yeah, like I can see that. But after learning the mechanics, and I guess it just really depends on what the learner is more interested in. Like, do you want to speak? Do you want to learn words? Do you want to come up with new words? Do you want to, I don't know, try journaling? Do you want to write? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I noticed that there is a difference with what you want to learn as a learner. And if your goal is to actually learn to speak, then I wouldn't worry about that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't personally worry about the new words until, I mean, it's something you could do later, you know, like adding to your bundle kind of thing. But
like steps almost, like.
Yeah, like, you know, when you go to college and you get your diploma, right? It doesn't matter what it's in. You can always add to your portfolio after that, right?
Yep, exactly. I see what you mean.
It's like that. That's how I see it. Because how do you even know what to say, or like how do you know how to come up with these words when you don't even know how to speak? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, get that down first. Or at least get your writing in order or something. You know what I mean? Like, establish something before branching out like that.
Yeah, try to take a huge step.
Yeah, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It's good. It's just that I don't think that's the focus right now. Yeah, I don't think so anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering because I've heard people say that before.
Yeah.
Like, not anybody, never mind. So yeah, that's what I remember hearing anyway. So, but yeah, I was just curious about that because I've heard of people, like, kind of.
Yeah.
I know, I don't know how to say it, but yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I was just curious about that since there was other people coming up with. I mean, I heard people coming up with words and are saying stuff, but I never really noticed it. Like, I remember when we were kids, Lily, and we didn't. I'm not sure if that's what it was. Might have been Dinosaur.
I think that's in the dictionary.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I don't even think she knew a word for it at the time, and she just gave us something.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's one of those we only learned it that one time, so it's not something that just kind of stuck with me.
Right.
Because I remember she only said it once, and we were just like, "Oh, okay, so that's Dinosaur, I guess." And she was like, "Yeah, sure." She just kind of went on her way.
Yeah.
We were like, "All right." Well, yeah.
Yeah. So you run into that too, though, like where there isn't words for something as simple as, like, say, food wise, condiments, like mustard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's funny because I remember that was brought up at one of the conferences, and then Olive just said, "Oh, we just say mustard," like in the Oneidaized accent,
Oh yeah.
like mustard. You know, yeah, not yeah. And I don't really like. I know some people kind of find that funny or laugh at that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, well, I'm just thinking of their like when they're growing up and stuff. Obviously, they're still speaking. They speak really well, actually.
Yeah.
It's just that they start incorporating more English or just Oneidaizing. Like that's not really a word, but that's what I'm using. Word like English words, and I mean that's all right for now, but I would just say, like, if you do want to come up with words for that, then there has to be still consensus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just focus on the basics, basically.
Yeah, like me personally, if you want to become a speaker or a good writer, it doesn't matter because sentence structure is important, right? I think it's more important to learn the mechanics and the verbs, like of how that work, like how to form a sentence and be able to say things, and not necessarily like nouns or place names or, you know what I mean? Like I'm realizing that myself. Like instead of learning these big word lists, it's not gonna help. Like I'm not saying it's bad, just yeah.
Yeah, just different.
Yeah, it's just like you're not gonna walk around saying, "Oh, gahiduse," you know?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, well, I can't really describe it either, but I know what you mean about that. Yeah. So.
Like you want to say, "Oh, here's a book," or like, I don't know.
Like, where's
like,
the book?
Open your book. Where's your book? Yeah.
So it's like I kind of need the phrase for that almost, like.
Yeah, if you get that down, then all you gotta do is replace book with anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm just gonna say book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Huh. No, that makes sense though, because like if you learn how to, I mean, that's one thing I could never. It was hard for me to catch on to was exactly that part. On trying to say in like in Oneida, like, oh, where's everybody? Instead of just learning that one part, like, people. I don't want to just walk into a room and go people like real loud, like nothing like that. Like asking where everybody is, like.
Yeah.
That part always threw me off because since our language is so. Like even reading it, to me, I found it a little difficult. And so like it just kind of came off where I was like, ugh, like just there's like so many parts that switch around, and because I know we have like it's not. I guess what I'm trying to say is when you write it, it's not going to say Deganya, Jungets. It's like revert. When you write it, it's like reverse. So like Deganya, it's like after Ni Jungets. So like that's what I mean. Like it just looks different from on paper to like when you're saying it.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it always kind of just threw me off. I remember that was like one thing I was always confused as a kid, and I must have never worded it right, because I remember talking with like Lillian or even Howard, and they were just like. Like staring at me like it's how it is, like this, I'm trying to explain, but I didn't get it either, so
yeah,
just must never really had a good way to say it, I guess, properly or explain myself about it.
Yeah. I remember that too though when I was younger. I'm like, why is it reversed? I know what you mean, or like why are things different like that? But yeah, it makes sense after a while. Once you start learning more about it, I guess.
Yeah, it's true. It's just because so get you so used to one version, which is English, and even then that's all butchered eyes to other languages and stuff. But yeah. Ugh. But yeah. See Avengers? I mean, are you going to see the new Avengers?
Oh, the new one. I want to. When's that come out?
End of the month? The 26th?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I plan to. Might as well finish it off.
I mean, are you one of those people that were following along with it?
I didn't watch every single thing in between. Like, I know how you had to watch Ant-Man and, like...
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Thor-Man.
But I pretty much kept up to most of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it made sense, and I was sad by the end.
Oh, at the end of Infinite War, when everybody's like turned to dust. Yeah,
especially
that was pretty
Spider-Man.
sad. That's what everybody says.
It's just, well, it's the way he did it.
It's real sad. You're just like,
Yeah.
oh, man. But yeah. I mean, looks like it was a good movie, though.
Yeah, it was. I know, I wouldn't say I was shocked at the ending, but I was a little bit thrown off. But then I was like, so this is what it feels like. Just because, like, the bad guy kind of got what he wanted, right?
Yeah.
And you don't see too many movies like that. And
Yeah.
actually, I look forward to those kind of endings. Just to see it.
Yeah, it's a little different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, since it's like always right there, but they never get it.
Yeah, because they always go for the happier ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the super mega happy ending.
Yeah.
Where everything turns out all right and the nuke stopped and everyone's good again.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when you think about those movies, it's like everything kind of turns out all right, but the rest of the world doesn't know, even though the bad guy's plan was to destroy the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just one of those, like, as we're talking right now, there could be some crazy person out there trying to blow up the world and someone's like stopping them.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what I was just thinking, like, how many times is that happening? We don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't monitor everything.
True.
Yeah. Plus, I don't really like to listen to the news too often.
Yeah, I kind of gave up on that completely too.
Really?
Like, I don't watch CNN, Fox, BBC, or nothing. Like, I'll go on Twitter, look at news articles, and that's it. And it's like enough to be, just to give you enough info, and that's it. Like, obviously nobody wants to sit around re-examining school shootings when they happen.
Yeah.
So like when I read, I'm like, oh, that sucks, and I just kind of go away. But like even at Jody Wilson Ray-Ban, all that stuff, I was just like slowly kind of keeping up with it, and kind of like just reading it through there. And even then, like if I don't get all of it, I'll eventually run into Snow at some point, and he'll just be like, "Well, do you know what happened?" And he'll just go over everything. I'll be like, "Oh, okay, there's my update," and I'm done. I'm just don't have to listen to it anymore, or wonder about it. So that's the other part I can kind of just count on if I don't really read into it.
Yeah.
Because there's stuff I'll just find out, and I'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know that happened." And the other part too is I listen to enough podcasts to where they talk about the news, and then I get my information that way as well. But of course, you have to remember when you're listening to it, because I've listened to a podcast that was like 4 years old.
Oh yeah.
So that was probably last year. So it was in 2014 I listened to it, and I was like, man, I didn't know all that happened. And I remember like, that was 2014 because that was 4 years ago. So I was like, well,
Yeah.
what's going on? Did you know this happened? And people were like, that was like so old.
I've been there before.
trying to tell people stuff, and they're just like, where the heck you been? Like,
That's like on Dumb and Dumber when he sees that article on the wall and it says "Man walks on the moon."
oh, and he's at
like,
the bar.
No way. Yeah, it's like one of my favorite movies.
I still think that best is like 1 in a million. So you're telling me I got a chance? I was like, oh yeah. Did you watch the second one?
Which one? The Dumb and Dumber or Dumb and Dumber 2?
2, not the when they're younger.
When they're younger?
No, not when they're younger.
Oh, not
like
when
the
they're
one
younger.
where they're actually the same actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did watch that.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was funny, just wasn't first one funny.
I agree.
Because like I said, there's times I laughed. There's a couple of things I thought was pretty funny movie, but I was just like, man, this isn't that funny. Like some spots where like it seemed kind of dry.
Yeah.
As opposed to the original was just kind of like joke after joke after joke, kind of all work. But that one I was like, eh.
Yeah, I kind of felt like they made them seem more dumb than they actually were in the second one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like almost, I wouldn't say special, but just, just dumber. Because like in the first one, yeah, they're dumb, like clearly, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just different. I don't know how to explain it.
I know what you're saying, and I agree with that. Where like in the first one, yeah, they're dumb. This one, they're just like really dumb, I guess. I don't know if they just need to get jokes across the point or something, but like, yeah, I know I get what you're saying though, that they are really dumber in this one, but
Yeah.
that younger one though,
Yeah, I only watched that like once, maybe twice at the most. And it's only certain parts, because only certain parts are funny in there. Like when Harry's in the bathroom with that chocolate bar. Do you remember that part?
sort of like some of that movie's kind of there, but I saw it once in theaters, and I think I was going with this. I can't remember how I saw it the first time, but the second time I know, one of my friends had a party, and we all went for his party. He went to the drive-in.
Oh yeah.
So that was where his party was, and like
That's what you saw?
well, this is nothing to him. This is nothing to his mom, because I'm pretty sure they were never like, hey, let's go see some of the worst movies in the world and get kids to watch them, because it was that Dumb and Dumber or whatever it was called, and Ang Lee's Incredible Hulk. You know, that really boring artsy one where they had like Hulk dogs and like Eric Bannon was Bruce Banner, or I can't remember what banner they used, but he was playing there. Eric Bannon was the Incredible Hulk, anyways.
Oh.
And that was the one where like Hulk was like, jumping through the air, and it was like his hair was blowing in the wind, and it was really stupid. Like it was like, it was kind of dumb. Like even when I was a kid, I was like, this is not a good movie, which says a lot, because I remember when you were a kid, everything's good. So if a kid tells you this is bad, then you're like, it must be bad, because like even a kid can't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes a little bit of sense, but yeah, because I remember we did that anyways. We went to the drive-in, we saw both those movies, and I remember I didn't even remember paying attention to them, half of them. I think we went into the drive-in where the snacks are and stuff, and they had arcades, and we started playing arcades.
Oh yeah.
So
What the heck?
I don't know. That's all I remember.
Well, that tells you something.
Yeah, because I think I must have been 13 or 14. Those movies are old.
Yeah, already. Wow.
Yeah, because that was 16, 17 years ago.
Wow. Does it feel like it though? Does it?
No, feels like maybe like 5, 8 years at the most.
Yeah.
But just reaching double digits when you're just feeling really old, and you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, I remember those days too.
Where you're just like, yeah.
Yeah, thinking you're older and
Thinking you're
cooler
awesome.
and yeah.
And then yourself now would go back and slap your younger self. Or at least I would have to my younger self and been like, hey, it's time to chill out.
I would have been like, don't do it. Don't go that path, I'm telling you. But also, I can't be mad about that, because maybe I wouldn't be where I am right now if that didn't happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's a better way to look at it.
Yeah.
As opposed to being like, I wish I never did it. And then you're just like staring out into space. So I guess it is better to just be where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So, how's your meal plan?
My meal plan, well, I don't have a specific one. I think I'm doing better though. Like, I noticed that I tried intermittent fasting,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going really well, actually. I like the schedule I have. I only broke it literally today. But it wasn't like I ate anything bad, just I ate a little bit sooner than I would normally.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like, what's your hours? Like, or I should say, how many hours are you actually fasting?
I try to go for 16.
Like, right for the 16 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ease into it, or did you kind of just, like, jump right to 16 hours?
Well, I was kind of already doing it anyway. Like, I noticed.
Just wasn't eating?
I just had to, like, up it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, like, 12.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 12 or almost even 14. Yeah, then I just upped it right away. And then, yeah, like I said, today is like the first day I kind of broke it. But it's not like I even ate a lot, so I feel like it's fine. But yeah, I don't know. You caught me on a cheat day. But yeah, no, I've made better choices. Thinking about more so what I'm putting in my body. And when I do fall off, I feel it for sure.
Yeah, because I noticed some people will either jump too fast into something, or they don't. Sometimes they don't do enough research, but I know most people actually do read into what they're going to do, because even intermittent fasting is it's not really dangerous at all. It's just kind of figuring out, your level. Because I know, I think there's these, I don't care. There's these psychos that do intermittent fasting, and they don't eat for 23 hours. They only eat for one, and all they eat is a steak and red wine, and that's it.
Well, how often do they do that?
They've been doing it for years.
But like every day?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's hardcore.
Well, that's what I mean. These psychos are eating that way. But the weird thing is they're shredded. Like,
really?
They could be on the box of Shreddies because they're like all eating it. They're all eating Shreddies because they're shredded. Like, that's the weird part about intermittent fasting is how your body can adapt, and then it starts actually like burning the fat. And it's actually you're actually gaining muscle as well if you're able to do it. Because, like, I mean, I used to do a lot of fasted cardios and workouts, and in reality, there's nothing special. Like, you're not doing a trick to get your body to burn more fat or nothing like that. It's just, there's really nothing to it.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I mean, it's all right. Because, like, there's days I remember I used to do it and I would be really hungry. And then there's some days I would do it and I wouldn't be hungry at all. Like, it seemed like my hunger would just stay off even further. But I don't know. It was just like this odd thing that would happen here and then. But
yeah, personally, I'm careful too because, being a female, you kind of got to keep your hormones in check. That's why I could never do something like those cycles you're referring to.
Yeah,
like, I wouldn't be able to do something like that because of that. So I keep that in mind. I have done like day fast though, but ceremonial way, not not this way. That's different, right?
yeah.
So yeah, I've done that and didn't seem to notice a big change other than being really hungry and a little more thankful and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
yeah, no, I seen the beauty in that.
What's the hours? Like, is it like 12 to 8 that you only eat, or?
Oh, the times I actually eat within. Yeah, about there. I try to stick around 12 to 8. Sometimes I'll just move it if like I ate later, like say 1, then I'd go to 9, or the other way too, like if I ate a little bit earlier, like 10:30, 11, then I just go till like 6-ish, 6:30, whatever.
Oh, yeah. So it's not really like an exact, here's where it is. You kind of like spread it a little bit, but keep it in that zone, or?
Yeah, that's what I try to do.
Oh, yeah. And is it still the same, like not going for gluten or dairy or
Definitely not dairy.
Now, are you like some people where like the dairy's really, really affects you? But like not just like, some people just get gassy and like, farty and
Yeah.
diarrhea, I guess. I mean, is it like, it really like kind of, I guess the best way is feels like you get punched in the stomach sort of a deal sometimes? Because I've heard of some people that are so lactose intolerant that if they have like something really strong with cream, like ice cream, like they'll actually like, feels like their stomach's in a knot, like it just twists
Oh
up.
God. Yeah, I will get that bad. Like, I don't even want to remember. But yeah, like it seems like some people, like even though they're intolerant, they can still tolerate it. Like you said, they just get gassy or have to go to the bathroom or whatever, but it's
Yeah.
not that big of a deal. For me, it is. And I don't even want to go there. But yeah, it's specific things I noticed though. Like ice cream, yeah, that's definitely one. Just regular white cow milk too. Like, yeah, I wouldn't even.
Did you ever try the like
Or cheese even.
like a heavy cheese like brie or like kind of old cheddar or something like that? Like, did you ever notice like certain kinds of cheeses, or was it just really any cheese just kind of sets you off?
I never really put that together. I just chose to stop eating it. Like all dairy.
Yeah.
But one thing I noticed too is like sometimes I can tolerate butter, like actual butter.
Oh,
Right?
like the real kind?
Yeah, but sometimes I can't. Like say if I went to the movies, got popcorn, right? And say I ordered the butter. Sometimes my stomach feels funny after, or like in the middle of eating it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I gotta stop. So sometimes I don't even get the butter. And I haven't noticed if margarine does that, but I don't even try to eat that anyways.
Yeah, it's really just oil. So, but yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, yeah, because I mean, real butter would be better than margarine health wise, I guess, like long as you have like the real kind. But do you still no red meat?
Oh no, I still eat that.
Yeah.
Not often, but yeah.
Is it like doesn't really do much? It's just like it's all right. Like there's nothing really like affecting you as much as like dairy.
No, I don't think so. I don't eat pork though. I think I told you that.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah. Just not a fan of pork mania.
Well, actually, it runs in my family. We don't tolerate it very well.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Me, I feel kind of like just nauseous or sick or something. But my sisters and my dad, they get like skin conditions.
Oh, like a rash will break out or
Yeah.
something, or that is strange. That's any kind of pork product.
Yeah, but I noticed that it's when they eat a lot. Like, say if they had pork chops one night, then they went and had pulled pork or like had bacon that morning. Like, if they did that consistently in a row, then yeah, it'll happen.
So it's probably the same for you then. It's just you never really.
I don't let it get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because some people do those elimination diets where they will just. There's a specific way they do it, but they replace everything with something else. So, like I know, like citrus. I'm pretty sure citrus fruit's one of the things they actually take out, along with like a lot of other like sugary products. And there's even like what do they call them? I don't want to call it shadow, like a shade fruit. I think they call it. Like mushrooms, potatoes, tomatoes.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's certain types of fruits and vegetables and foods they'll just completely take out of their diet, and then they slowly introduce after like 30 days. I think they introduce it back one by one, but then they'll eat it like maybe like a day or two or a couple, and then they'll figure out you
Yeah.
know, figuring out like, well, I feel okay eating this, nothing's really happening, so we'll keep this. And then they move on to the next item, they'll eat some of it, same thing, and then they'll find something that actually hurts them, and then
Yeah.
they'll take that out. They say, okay, I know not to eat that anymore, which is, I guess, a lot easier
Yeah.
because I wanted to do what's it called, 23andMe, because it's not the whole am I African? Like, I'm not worried about that part. Like, that part doesn't interest me. What interests me is the genetic part.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know exactly all of the genetic parts of my body that I have, like whether, because I know my grandpa had colon cancer. So even though he had it, and some people, like, and some doctors claim to be hereditary and everything, it's like,
Yeah.
it's you're not going to get it just because one of your family members had it. Like,
Yeah.
everybody, pretty much almost on both sides of my family, my mom and my dad all have diabetes. But that's just common with Native people. But
Yeah.
because it's just, you know, the lifestyles that we live aren't very active as we want them to be. I mean, I'm just to be real with everybody. I don't want to sound like I'm being a dick
No,
towards
I agree.
First Nations people. It's just, that's the reason why people have diabetes. It's poor diet, no knowledge of the actual foods, and no real knowledge of cooking. Is what I find in my studies anyways, that I've been trying to look at with like the common household.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things, is there's just no food knowledge. So they don't understand what they're eating, how to cook it properly, how they can do it better. Because I've been telling people, which is true, because it's called resistant starch, that if you take a baked potato and you cook it, let it cool, and eat it when it's cold, it's actually healthier than when you cooked it. So if like cooking,
Why is that?
because it creates resistant starch, which is a lot better for you. In like I'm pretty sure it was the medieval times. They had they had like a potato diet, they would call it, and a lot of people would eat just potatoes because that's all they had. And a lot of times they'd bake a lot of them off or cooked a lot of them and then just kind of, you know, put them to the side
Yeah.
so they can eat them. And when they ate them, of course, they didn't care at the time, but now
Yeah.
we think about it, that a lot of people were just tended to be a lot more skinnier. They lost a lot of weight, and they tend to be a little more healthy. But nobody ever really recommends it to eat it long term. It's just for
Yeah.
like, most time it's 2 weeks, like modern times anyway, it's like 2 weeks. And people have cut like 30 pounds in 2 weeks just eating potatoes. But that's it. That's all you can have is potatoes. You cannot eat anything else. And you don't, no butter, sour cream, salt, pepper, nothing. Just
What?
plain
No
old,
salt or pepper?
just plain potato and cold, and that's
What
it.
the heck?
Like, you have to cook them all,
Yeah.
let them cool, and then you can eat away. You can eat as much as you want.
I think I could do that. I don't know. We'll see. No.
That's the thing. Is what I was explaining to somebody once. I said, "Now don't get any crazy ideas," because I've told somebody once
Yeah.
sour cream actually helps blood circulate a little bit better. Like, very little, but it actually
Yeah.
can help. And then I said, but then you know someone's going to take that and say, well, God said you could eat as much as you can to get your blood going. And they just like cram it down, and you're like, well, no, but that's why I said it's
Yeah.
one of those you want to worry about what you tell people, because you don't want them to take it and then they're blaming you for something that you
Yeah.
really had nothing to do.
Yeah.
It's just information I want to pass on to people, but yeah, I'm just a little worried about them understanding like what they're actually taking. Because I've done that when I first started like getting into more health and fitness. I misinterpreted a lot of things, like especially when I first meal prepped. I remember I have a picture I took on Facebook years ago when I first started, and there was like barely any. I think I had pork chops, chicken, and fish, and there's barely any rice, barely any vegetables, and like a little piece.
Yeah.
And because wasn't measuring anything, I wasn't researching into like the protein, carbs, the fats, or like, you know, wasn't weighing nothing. So
Right.
it just looked really like pathetic.
Aw.
But every time I do see it, I like to share it on Facebook, because then I like to show people that this is a start of what it looked like, and it was pretty sad looking.
Yeah.
But I look to what I eat now, and as of right now, I'm actually trying to get close to 3,000 calories. And that's just to like not really maintain, because I could actually eat more if I wanted to maintain, but I'm actually cutting, so I'm trying to cut down more weight. So even if it's under that, it's, you know, I guess trying to go down a more healthier route on cutting, but like still trying to maintain muscle and
Yeah.
all that other nonsense. So like that's just what I'm trying to do now, but it's a whole tricky thing because since I'm a male, there's a lot more I have to worry about. Because the one thing I envy with women, like if you were to go on a plan and you wanted to build muscle, you wouldn't have to eat as much, obviously.
Yeah.
Because you go by your height and weight, and like you probably like, I'd guess and say 140 grams of protein. Even then, that seems like a lot. So that might even be less than that.
Mm-hmm.
But like myself, I'm measuring about 240 grams a day.
Holy.
Just on protein. And then carbs is pretty much the same. I try to match my carbs to my protein, and then my fats are about, I think at 95, 97, somewhere around there. So like I'm trying to like scarf all this food down.
Yeah.
But that's all I got to say about that.
Oh, yeah.
I just got to start. I'm like, yeah, that's where that kind of ends because I'm just like, ugh, some days when you're just like force feeding yourself.
Yeah.
But I mean, it can't be as bad as when I first started because when I first started, I was doing like 8 ounces of meat a meal, 4 times. So it's 2 pounds of food, 2 pounds of meat a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems kind of.
I mean, that was extreme too because I was just thinking, oh, it'd be cool to be a bodybuilder, and I was like,
Yeah.
like I wasn't thinking about consequences to later in life or whatever. I just wanted to do it. Like I didn't care. I just wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I guess things change.
Yeah.
Yeah, your ideas change because now I personally don't. I love bodybuilding and like still keeping up with all the bodybuilders and the shows and the events and everything like that. But I just don't personally would like to be in that lifestyle because I can't. And this ain't nothing to anybody because in my life now I have nothing against steroids. Like I don't honestly think there's the taboo there or whatever you want to say about them. Like they're there. There's nothing you can do. But I'm gonna say this, even though if everyone might get mad, every sport has steroids in it. Professional, non-professional, they all have it. Mm-hmm. Just want to say that. But bodybuilding isn't the only one. But yeah, like after I seen what people have done, I was like, I can't do steroids. Once in my life, I've considered it. And then, like, I think the very next week, they were having, like, some kind of, at the community center, like, drug awareness thing.
Yeah.
And this is probably about 10, 11 years ago. I remember I went there, and this woman was like, oh, like, she was talking about all this stuff. And I said, oh, what about steroids? And she gave me this little flyer. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, if you do steroids, this. And I was like, really? And then I kind of read all that stuff, and I was like, screw this. Like, I think there's 27 side effects. You're not guaranteed to get them all. But you're at least going to get 5. And I was like, no way.
Not worth it.
No, it was way too scary.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't want to do that either. Why people choose that, I don't know, but it's their choice.
Mm-hmm.
If they're an entertainer, that's what they do, I guess.
It's true. Speaking of like bodybuilding stuff, is there a workout regimen that you do?
No, not particularly. Actually, I'm looking for one that would suit me. Just 'cause like I'm going through some physical issues too. Like I noticed my arm and my hand get sore. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that I can't even beat as much as I used to. I don't know if it's like from the computer or from beating or whatever, but like I was wondering if working out more with my arms would help that or not. You know what I mean? Like, do I have to be careful? That's why I gotta figure that part out. I don't see why it wouldn't help, but...
Yeah, because, like, I mean, it would just be like... what is it, like computer work and even beading is like repetitive work, right?
Yeah, and like especially with beadwork, like you're really pulling all the time or like pushing, and I don't know, like, and you're always clenching. So
yeah, like
I can see that, and I'm right-handed, so that's the side that hurts too. So.
Yeah, so like maybe over the years it was just something that developed. Because I remember hearing about those Ford workers at the company. Constant repeated movement, like their body's doing the exact same thing for like 8-10 hours 5 days a week, that they just develop arthritis. Same thing with like a receptionist. If a woman's just doing reception work all her life, she gets arthritis at some point. And I mean, arthritis sucks, but it's treatable, right? Like long as it's very minor, because you don't want to get that rheumatoid arthritis. If I said that right, because that one can really like affect your hand to where like it would be twisted and like really changed up, and then like something, it would lock up even, so you couldn't do nothing unless you had the medication. But the thing I'm trying to get to is there's a woman who has it, and she just worked out and changed her diet, which she already did one part, and it's gone. Like she only has to take 1 pill a day, but she has no more pain or nothing like that anymore. So probably working out, I would say, would probably actually help.
That's what I was thinking, because I've been a lot more sedentary lately with work and then my beadwork that I do at home.
Yeah.
So all I've been doing really is just walking, and I realize how much that can change things too.
Yeah.
Just by walking, and I've looked into getting a bicycle too. Kind of scary to bicycle around here, but I only plan on using it like during the day.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't go at it.
It's not like you're gonna be like, well, it's Saturday night. It's 2:30 in the morning. I'm gonna go for a bike ride.
Yeah.
As soon as like you get on the road, we're like, oh.
Yeah, sadly, that's a real thing.
True. I mean, if you wanted to, you could also invest in like a kettlebell.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Like, I have one at home that goes up to about maybe 70 pounds, but no, it only goes up to 50. But I know at my gym, they have a 60-pound kettlebell. But, I mean, to be honest, I would say if you can find even like a used one, I don't think there's a big deal. Because like kettlebells, you could like do a whole workout in like 20 minutes. And it works your whole body, since like you're going to be doing kettlebell swings. You could do like hip thrusts. You could do like rows, like back rows. You could do like overhead presses or like squats, deadlifts.
Do I just need one?
Yeah, you just need one. And I mean, if you were going to buy even a used one, no matter where, you should always go and try to pick it up.
Right.
Like pick it up, make sure you can actually lift it. And even do like movements where you can move it over your head, because you're going to be doing that kind of movement anyway. So I don't know what your strength is at, like how many poundages you would be able to use or handle. Because myself, I went back to doing a strict bodybuilding regimen.
Yeah.
But it's getting kind of boring. So I was going to change back to going to kettlebell, and then have what they call a push and pull day. So like having these different kinds of days, so just so the workouts are unique and different every time, instead of just same thing over and over and over. Because then, it just gets boring after a while, and then you don't really want to work out because you're not too enthusiastic about the same movements over and over. So it's better to change things up all the time. So so I would just say, if you're gonna get a kettlebell, look for one that you can actually still press over your head, and then just like kind of move around a little bit.
Okay.
Because I mean, even if you got like a 10-pounder, you'd probably still kill yourself trying to do like.
Yeah, because the reps will get to you after a while.
Yeah, because I know through kettlebells too, a lot of times there's no do a kettlebell swing, rest, deadlifts, rest. Like they want you to do one movement after another, So like you're doing like 5 movements after each other. So it really kind of wears on your body. Then you then you rest for like a minute or two, and then you get up and do another set. So but yeah, just something to give it a try, as opposed to, I mean, nothing's wrong with a bike. That'd be fun, but like what you said.
I do need weights. I know, I was thinking like whether I should get like the dumbbells or something like that, what you just mentioned, kettlebell.
I mean, even dumbbells. There's tons of circuits. Same thing. Like whether it be like renegade rows, push-ups, overhead presses, squats, deadlifts.
Mm-hmm.
You can do all those with every single kind of weight. They're all just going to be held differently or done differently.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's really how you want to do it. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Or at this point, maybe like whatever's budget friendly. If
Yeah.
you find dumbbells that are cheaper than a kettlebell, then yeah, go with the dumbbells. But
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I know dumbbells, well, the ones I've seen anyway, it just seems to be like around $1 a pound. So if I wanted 10, then it would be like 10, $11.
yeah, it's true, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
where is it? Like people scoff, but I'm like, wherever you can get deals. Like sometimes Walmart even has something.
Yeah, I've seen, like, not obviously that's not where a bodybuilder would go, but yeah, like if you're looking for something small and simple, it's good, I think. For the
Yeah,
most part.
because like I said, you can go somewhere else. Like I went to Treadmill Factory
Yeah.
to get a weighted vest, and yeah, I mean, a weighted vest is just something extra to like really go for, but it actually does feel like just dead weight since like somebody could weigh like 200 pounds, but since they're carrying their weight, they know how they won't feel as heavy.
Yeah.
But when you have just dead weight of like 30 pounds, it feels like when you put it on the vest, it feels like just a dead animal over you because there's no control in it. It's just laying on you, so you're just like, and it feels like harder to run and go upstairs and everything. But
Yeah.
it's worth it for like just that extra bit of I guess workout.
No, I could see that. I mean, that's a little ahead for me. But yeah, I've seen those, and yeah, I could see that being something later on,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I said, I don't know what your setup is at the moment, like even with your food, because I know you said you're intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
But like to add in your workout, would you do it in the morning or afternoon?
Well, right now I just fit it in where I can.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess ideally I would like to do it in the morning before work.
What time's your work at? Like 9?
It's like 9:30, so I would have time. I just have to get up. Get up.
I know I have that exact same problem still. I used to be able to get up right at 6, like no problem. Sometimes even beating the alarm clock.
Yeah.
And feeling wide awake, like, oh, okay, time to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just like, like just struggling to get up at 7:30 and like, go to work. And I think a part of it though is the time because working at Nimke, it's 9 to 5.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's Monday to Friday, so like, it's very like. I mean, I'm used to it now. I tell people that I wasn't used to it because working at the home, it was 7 to 3, and then 11:30 to 7:30, and then like there's every other weekend you have to work, but here I don't have to work weekends. 9 to 5.
Just straight up.
Yeah, so it's pretty just straightforward, and you're just like, oh, okay, well this is all right, and then you don't have to worry about nothing. But most people are just like, ugh, like I really don't want to get up, but yeah, it's my life right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I still go to the gym, which I just go in the evening, that's all. Because I have to get up at 5. I mean, I have to go to sleep at 9?
That's the thing too, is I wish that there was more access to stuff like that here. So I wouldn't have to try to go all the way to town. That's why I just try to do what I can here.
Yeah, I mean, makes it easier, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when I hear that, it's something you'd really want to try, but at the same time, it's like I remember somebody asked me once, would you open a gym on the res? And I said, sadly, no, because my question is, how long would it take before somebody wrecks something, breaks in and steals something? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, so that was my biggest thing. It's like, and I'm not want to be like, NIDA sucks. Like, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
It's just, that's just how it is around here. That's all. Which is sad, but, because,
No, I hear you.
because Did you ever go to that gym in Six Nations?
No, I haven't.
That's an insanely awesome gym.
Really?
My friend down there, I went down there once to visit her, and she took me over there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's really nice. Like, the whole gym. Because, like, as soon as you walk in, there's, like, a smoothie bar and a supplement store, manager or whatever. And then there's this little gate that's completely blocked, and the only way you can get in is scanning.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like you can kind of just slide in anytime you want.
Yeah.
And they got those real prisoner gates you
Yeah.
got to slide into.
Yep.
And then as soon as you go in, free floor, just nothing but like weights and mirrors and all the machines. But if you go upstairs, there's like a yoga spot. Like, so like right above you, there's a yoga spot for yoga. And then if you go down and go upstairs to the other side, it's like a whole MMA, boxing,
nice.
like area.
Yeah.
So like it's opposite sides. But since that yoga one can be like, there's nothing up there because, you know, yoga is just very yogi.
Yeah.
They do like kid stuff, kid exercises up there and stuff like that. Like that would be ideal for most reservations. But I think that place has a good spot because it's on the edge of Six Nations. So it's also very close to the town.
Yep.
So you get a lot of Lost Loons going in there too.
Oh, okay.
Besides the natives that are going in there.
Yeah.
So it's pretty decent.
It works out.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that was pretty nice when I went in there and checked it out, and it was pretty good. But I remember my brother, Robert, working at the community center, was saying, like, I guess the sandbag in the gym was like cut and ripped open.
What? Really?
Yeah, and then like, of course, the weights were thrown around, like they're just everywhere. And then there was some some little teenage preteen girl was on a treadmill, and they must have put it up top speed, and she tried to run, of course, and then just slipped and like hit her face directly on it, and it must have cut and split her lip because like he said he went in there to clean it up, and it was just like blood, like looked like someone just like blood just smacked against the wall. It was on the floor. And he was just like, oh, and he had to clean all that up. And that was funny. He said was she had what do you call those things? Those candy necklaces.
Yeah.
And that thing exploded, so there was like blood and candy necklace all over the place in the gym.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. But that was pretty.
Did anyone supervise that area though?
No, I didn't even know if they had a camera.
Yeah. See, that would help. Stuff like that, you know. I don't know. I feel like sometimes things get done here, but not very properly, and that's why things fall apart.
I think part of that too was, I mean, I think this is an issue to bring up is the youth center there. It's a waste of space. Like, I think the youth should have somewhere to go, but not at the community center. Because it's to me, all the complaints I hear is no one's watching the kids. So like the kids are just roaming, they're doing whatever, they're not taking them to activities, they're not doing something with them, you know. They wander in the community center, and they're not supposed to because they're supposed to stay at the youth center. So that's kind of the issue. That's why I think there was kids in the weight room, because nobody was watching them, right? So they just kind of were able to sneak back there and. Somebody bust their lip open, so. Because then I guess there was regulars that were always going in there, and they said, like, you know, one day there was no more gym. And they were, what happened to it? And they were just like, oh, you know, it's gone.
Right.
So, like, that was it. So, like, yeah, the people who regularly went, now they have nowhere to go, unless they go to town.
Or get some stuff themselves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And some places or people, like, don't have space for stuff like that, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Like treadmills or what are those called? Like just exercise machines.
Yeah,
or I don't know.
No, I know what you mean.
Chest flies or whatever.
Yeah, so like all the weights and everything like that, where it's like the machines and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
not that you need all of that, but
it's nice to have. That's all.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's more convenient to actually use those, as opposed to actually like having to go the other route, which is, I remember when I where I lived, there was a club nearby, and that club used to have access. Because if you lived in the area, you got access to that club for free, and they had a gym and a pool and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I went in there once for the club, and the lady at the front was like, "Oh, we're going to be closing this up next week." And I was like, "How come?" She's like, "We're going to renovate."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, then yeah," because like the carpet was like crappy from people just throwing the weights down and like shredding the carpet
Yeah.
up and everything. And I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." And so it closed on next week. So I prepared for that week, and what I did is I went to Fitness Depot, I think, and I bought a bench, all that stuff. Like I bought all the stuff for myself, and I just worked out at home. And I remember after the first week, nothing happened. Like, no, it's still closed. Second week, third week, and after a month, I was like, "Is it gonna open?" She was like, "Oh, they're having troubles because there's water damage and everything like that." I think 2.5 months without a gym. Like I just at home, I was doing weights.
Yeah.
I finally was like, I'm just gonna go somewhere because like
Yeah.
I was waiting for that gym to open back up, and that's where I signed up for Wellington Fitness, our world gym
yeah.
at the time. And that was good, but no, I guess I kind of have too many complaints because it never seemed like there was that many people there. Even though the parking lot, sometimes when you go by, it looks packed.
Yeah.
It never really seems like it's ever that packed in there.
Yeah.
And then now I'm at Forest City Fitness. That's where I work out now, which is like a 5-minute walk from my home above a convenience store.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's nice. Like, it's really nice, but no, there's not really. There's nothing really to complain about, I guess. Like, there's nothing I can say like, "Oh, they don't have this or they don't have that." No, they have everything. It's just.
Do they have fitness classes too?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So they have yoga. They have that what do they call it? Like a kangaroo class where you get those little boots, and you do
Really?
like exercises in the little boots that make you jump higher.
What, really?
Yeah, I forgot what it's
That's
called.
cool.
But they have that. They have like, yeah, yoga. Then they have personal trainers. And they have a bunch of deals now and then where it's like get 6 lessons for like $100 or something like that, one-on-one consulting, and every month it seems like they have new little things you can do with them. Like now there's this one trainer who's offering like for $200. I forgot how his deal worked, but basically I think you get that money back plus more. I don't understand how it works, but there's some way he's doing it where it's like if you do my course and you succeed, you will get more money back when succeeding. It's like I said, I never really actually read into how it is, but it's very like he wants you to talk to him because then you're going to think, well, how do I get money back? Like if I'm
Yeah.
paying you $200 for 6 weeks to get into a better shape, how do I get money back for actually doing it? I don't know. Like I said, it's a weird thing, but it's clever because like I said, it got me interested, but I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But
No,
they,
I get it.
but they do it pretty good there. Because there's a lot of times, too, where you have to go on their app. They have an app, and that's how you sign up for classes. So there's not someone you talk to. They just give you a password and your username. Then you go on their app, and then you sign up for classes there. And then you just show up.
Oh, okay. And then do you pay up front or after? Or?
The classes?
Yeah.
No, they're all free.
Oh, really?
You just pay for the monthly service. Like because you don't live in the area, you probably pay about $41 a month. But you don't have to pay for any classes.
Oh,
You just sign up, show up, and you're good. And I think that is the most popular class, is that kangaroo class.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the most amount of people I see, like, in a class. Because they'll actually, like, when they're done and they're coming out, there's, like, tons of them coming out.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I would look at it. We'll go check it out.
Yeah, because you can get is it a week? I think you get 7 days free. Like, if you wanted to go there and talk to, I think it's Ben or Randy, one of them. You talk to one of them, whoever's in the office, and then you just explain that, I heard about this, I'm intrigued, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, okay, then you just talk about whatever, and then they'll let you go come in for free
Oh, nice.
during the times that they're available. So, like, weekdays, I think it's 8 to 8. So there's like you can see today you said you had kind of a free day. If you wanted to go in anytime during the day between 8 and 8, as long as the managers are there.
Oh, I see.
Like once you get your key fob, you can go in anytime you want.
Is it 24 hour?
24/7, yeah.
Wow.
Like even on Christmas Day, because it's a key fob.
Right.
You don't have to like have someone there to stare at you awkwardly as you walk in, like at World Fitness.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, like.
Oh yeah. So it's more quiet and yeah, you can come and go as you want.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about, like I said, somebody claiming to have 24/7. Like I remember that Wellington Fitness claimed to have that, and I remember one time, I'm pretty sure it had to be Christmas Day. I was done work at the home, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to the gym, and I went to the gym, and it was closed.
What the heck?
Even though it's this 365, 7 days a week and 24 hours, and I was like, like it's not even, because like then I just got pretty much ripped off because I was like I can't even go, so I just had to go home.
What the heck?
Get mad at nothing.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do nothing. But yeah, so I don't know. It was all right, but yeah. So like I said, if there's something you were interested in, I would just
go
probably,
there when.
Yeah, just to check it out, talk with them.
Yeah.
Because if you wanted to say I'm interested in classes, or just because the key fob thing, even because I don't really think there's a lot of gyms that actually have that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Like I think Anytime Fitness might have that.
I would say Planet Fitness too, but I feel like there's someone always there anyways.
Oh, you mean like at the front?
Yeah. But I mean, you could still just scan and go.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There is actually something I wanted to bring up. It just came to me while we were talking. But so, did you ever get into piano classes or look into it?
I did. I wanted to go to Long and McCoy on Exeter. They have that new store they moved there. That's the one I wanted to go to. But
They have that there?
Yeah, they have lessons there.
Oh, cool.
I just never actually went in there yet because I wanted to go check it out. Because it's one of those when I was medical driving, I went past it so many times.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is cool. But yeah, something I wanted to do anyways for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because well, obviously Ashley's our middleman. She told me that you were gonna look into that.
Yep.
And I already kind of knew that you were in piano anyways. Self-taught, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I like to sing. I feel like I've improved over the years. I wouldn't say I'm where I want to be yet, but I feel a lot more confident and getting more comfortable. But it takes time. And yeah, I just thought it would be cool because I think it was even her idea. She's like, oh, you guys would have such a good band. And she's like, and I'll be your manager. And I was like, no, just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean though.
Yeah.
The classics. You want to make some hits?
Yeah. So I just wanted to check back in about that if you're still interested.
Yeah, I would do that for sure.
Together.
Because what I've learned, what I've self-taught myself was basically to read music and everything like that. But I always knew that I could improve. But I would do it faster if I probably had a teacher. That's why I wanted to go to Long and McCoy's. But currently, as of right now, I'm waiting to hopefully get a place.
Yeah, yeah.
And then once I have that, because I put my piano away for now. Like I actually bagged it and tagged it and put it away at the moment because I need more room in my room.
Yeah.
And so I was like, when I get that back out, that's when I'll be able to like actually set it up and actually have it to where when I go take lessons, because there's no point taking lessons. And then they're like, well, practice this. And I'm like, okay, like I'll do it when sometime. But
yeah.
So like if I have it, because I know obviously the teachers are going to send something, because I know With your singing lessons, you probably have the same thing, right? Like they're telling you practice this, whether that's warm-ups or whatever.
Yeah, well, I noticed with mine, like, they're really forgiving. They really, like, the onus is really on yourself, right?
Yep.
It just depends what your goals are and how far you want to take it. Like, it could be just for fun, right? Like, that's kind of what I was doing at first, like, just to see what was possible, what kind of voice I have, all that kind of stuff. But I've had this push inside of me to want to go a little bit further.
Yeah.
And I would be open to a band idea.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, so that's I'm kind of pushing myself more now, and I told her that. She asked me if I've met with you yet, and I'm like, you mean to like practice? No. You know, I feel like there's still things I need to do myself, like get into a routine, practice myself. I practice like informally, but not like actually, you know, taking time to, you know, go over the tech stuff, you know, like go over these exercises, practice this, practice that. It's kind of hard without a background either, like without a piano or
like for that, like
to follow the notes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because she does that for me.
Like she'll actually play the note like a C and then go up higher and higher.
Yeah, and then we're going to do a slide up to a whatever.
Yeah.
And then come back down. Yeah. So I feel a little more spoiled there.
As opposed to by yourself.
Yeah, and plus, like, she'll help guide me too if I'm unsure. Like with her own voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would one having one of those what do they call them? Metronomes help? Is that what they call them? I think.
I'm not sure, but is that where it kind of
keeps you in, like, I guess tune? Not.
But it's for your voice, right?
I guess you can use it for pianos, where it's a piano as well. Like, because when you set it right, it's one of those. So it's gonna go back and forth. But like, if you can obviously slow it to where like. You can have the actual speed of, like, if you're going to play the piano and you're going to play Rocket Man from Elton John, and like you want to go at that speed, and if you wanted to start slow, then you would hit it and it would go a little bit slower, and that way you can kind of go with the beat. So it's going to be four beats per measure. So your measure, you're going to have 4 beats. So if you get those 4 sounds to go with it, and then it's going to jump over to the next measure, then you're going to have to go by that, and then because it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, as opposed to going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, instead of it making faster, you can make it slower and then follow each measure as you go along.
I feel like you know more in that field than I do.
It's just what I've read off of, like a lot of like those, what do they call it? Complete Idiot's Guide and Dummies for Music Theory and stuff. Like, like all that stuff. Like, that's all the stuff like I've learned from, especially like when it came to actually reading music notes, like a 16th note or like an 8th note or like, you know, the 4th note. So like all those different little types, and then like there's like there's the 2 ones, so like, you know, your pianos, so you got 88 keys, and then 44 for the bottom, 44 for the top, so like the measures, and then like the middle is gonna have that middle C that everybody hits, but then like that bottom is gonna have all these lower notes, which I'm a fan of playing lower notes. So I like playing a lot of I can't remember what they're called now. So much I'm out of it. But it's a really nice sounding downbeat when you play it. So, but I don't, like I said, I don't know exactly where your range is.
Oh, well, I can share that with you since I'm learning.
Yeah.
Well, she classified my voice as actually a soprano, which I was surprised about, because just talking to me, I'm on the quiet side. My voice isn't exactly high-pitched or anything. But after testing it out, it can go high. But I've been expanding lower, because that's actually where I have the most trouble, is coming back down.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have a bigger range than I used to. But obviously, like, I don't like really low stuff because then that would just be more suited for a male
like
voice. You know what I mean?
bar tones
Yeah.
when they drop down to that real low octaves.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do practice a lot of stuff in the middle range anyway. So like C and give or take higher or lower.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, some stuff goes a little high. I haven't actually dabbled in any opera, but I've thought about it. Not that I'm trying to drag you into that, but it's just something I've thought of just to try it, see if.
Yeah, why not? I mean, all types of music are like when I was learning through like all the different methods of like whether it's country or rap or rock or just pop even, like they're all in different like they're all in different beats, they're all in different measures, they're all in different times because you can have like something that goes up to the eighth. A lot of them don't. They all stick around the four, which is a common time. So there's only 4 beats per measure, and that's pretty much the normal for all of them. But like I said, they're all different from one another, and I wish I could say I knew, but like one thing I don't know is like for you, like I don't know what key you're in. See how you said you're practicing between middle, so you know how there's like C, D, E, G, E, F,
Oh,
A, B,
you
C.
want
Yeah,
specific?
yeah. Like I couldn't tell you to exactly if I had a piano right now to say, oh, like well I'll just bring you in at the like C. So like unless you know where she's been playing you at, like your teacher.
Well, she expands my range. Like she'll start. I would say like because I don't really know the piano. That's what makes it hard for me. But she does kind of, and then plus her singing, right? She's a musician. So she'll work me up. Like she'll start like say at a C, or maybe even lower.
Yeah.
And then we'll just kind of do slides, like higher, like not super high, just start low, come up, back down, and then go up another note, high, low, another note up. You know what I mean? Like just kind of practicing that way. 'Cause you kind of got to ease your way into it.
Yeah.
You don't want to just start like.
Strain your throat.
Yeah, right away.
I mean, isn't that what they say too? That your throat's a muscle, so you have to kind of like, I guess, flex it.
Yeah. I mean, I've never heard her say that, but.
I mean, I was just thinking the same thing. Like you'd be like flexing your muscles, so like when you're working out, because like to do like an arm workout when I'm done, something I like to do is like really like just flex it to kind of tighten the muscle hard as I can, and that's just a technique a lot of bodybuilders do. So I'm thinking when you're singing, as any other way I can think of it was just saying to say like after you're singing it, then you're kind of just like practicing. That's why I said you'd flex it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so she just kind of starts me there, I guess, and works her way up. And then I notice she likes to start higher first. Like, she'll take me as high as we need to go. Like, for a song, like, she has tested me to see how high I can go. Like, that was just for fun, though.
Yeah.
But she goes by the songs that she knows I want to sing that day. Like, I sing a lot of Alicia. Hers doesn't go much higher than what's higher again? Like G's, or is that lower?
I think it'd be like what the A's and the B's possibly
Are higher
before you reset, because in the piano there's a C, D, E, F, G. That's a 5, and then when you move over, you'd move over to an A, B. And then the C will start over again to where you would have to get to another. So like what I basically just said, there's an octave.
Yeah.
And that's that's where you start, and then you go up to another octave. So the octaves is where you're getting higher and higher and higher.
I've heard her say that, yeah. And I'm like, I kind of know what she means, but if I were to play it, I wouldn't know. You know what I mean? So I think she starts me off on the main one, whatever that would be. Yeah,
like the middle, like right smack in the middle where there's the middle C, they call it. Like everybody has that middle C right in the middle of the piano.
Yeah, so she'll start there, just take me up that octave.
Mm-hmm.
Then she'll say, like, we'll go up another one, but, like, just start with a few notes. Sometimes I don't go, like, up to the other octave, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but just whatever the key is in the song. Well, because you know how to read. If I just gave you some of the papers or sent them to you, like the songs, because they are in either guitar or piano keys anyways, which are very similar. Like, they'd still work. She manages to do it somehow.
Yeah. There's I forgot what they call it. Not sheet notes. There's a specific term I've heard where
Chords?
yeah, they're like chords where it's just that one hit, right? So like if you were singing and I was to hit a chord, I wouldn't really play anything else. I would just hit that one chord, and then there's a certain part of the when you're singing, you get to another part and I hit another chord, and it would just kind of help keep you in tune. So I would just follow along.
Yeah, there's that way.
Yeah, as opposed to like me actually playing something for that backup on the left side, and then the right side is accompanying you, but the left side is just kind of backing up. So as opposed to that.
Yeah, and I know there's different ways to do that. I think we've done both, to be honest. Yeah, because there's times where I'm like, I can't find the piano sheet music. Can we just use the guitar chords? She's like, yeah, that's fine. But it still helps me as a singer, I guess, because I know, I kind of know the chord, like what to stay in. Yeah, I don't know. I still feel new to it though.
Yeah, like I said, I've never ever had a full grasp of it. Even much as I learned, that's why I always thought, well, I could probably use a teacher. So like I've always wanted to go to a teacher, so it's probably a better time than never. If there's more of a reason like this now, as opposed to, yeah, I'll get to it.
Yeah.
Like I think it can kind of work better if someone's like, yeah, I'm kind of pressuring you to do it. Then I'm like, oh, okay, then I'll actually go and make an effort because it's not just on me. Otherwise, I'll just go watch a movie. Or like play a video game or something like that, as opposed to like actually being like, I should probably go to that practice. Maybe, and I'll just like completely forget. So, but that's the main list of songs that you're actually doing, is like Alicia Keys stuff.
Not just that, it's just what I'm working on right now. I've tried Adele. I'm trying to pick more stuff that suits my voice too, like rather than just stuff I was interested in before.
Yeah.
Some of Marvin Gaye's songs work with me too,
like his younger days or his
yeah, I like Grapevine. I heard it through the grapevine. Yep. That one. I've tried Janice, but I have to do a different take on it because she's really raspy and yeah. But that's how she got vocal damage too, which I don't want, obviously. So I do it for fun, but obviously it wouldn't sound like her. But that's what my teacher always taught me, was like, you want to sound like yourself anyways. You don't want to try to mimic
you don't want to
anyone else.
Sound like somebody, or I get that meaning, because I was always I just saw a bird. I've like everybody, I've sung along to songs like in my car, somewhere. And I've noticed that even after hearing that, it feels like if you don't have a teacher like you have, and even if you're aware that you're singing but you're sounding like that person, I guess it just can't be helped unless like you have the proper techniques and someone there to explain to you how you're actually supposed to sing as yourself, not as like because I listened to a lot of Ronnie Millsap, and and like every time I sing those songs, I notice I'm just trying to sound like him, like that, or even like Peter Allen. Like I sing a lot of Peter Allen songs, and same thing. It just seems like you're just trying to sound like them unintentionally.
Yeah,
But
no, I agree. I was
Yeah.
the same way. But that's not always the best way, especially for like your own voice. You kind of want to bring that out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've learned. But I will say this as as someone who's learning and wants to sing but doesn't always have the confidence. Like, it's true, it's not an easy thing to get through, and even my own teacher, who's been doing it for how many years now, she still like criticizes herself. And even I'm like, how? Because she sounds so good. She's an opera singer, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I'm just like, how dare you even think that? But anyway, so it's kind of comforting though. I mean, in a way, because like someone like her is still having trouble. But I would just say, like, there was a period where I got so frustrated with myself
Mm-hmm.
that I stopped for a while.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't even know why I did this, and it was a waste of time, and I don't want to do it anymore. But then I realized how much I missed it. And I was like, there's nothing else that kind of makes everything go away, if that makes sense.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But I would say the biggest hurdle that someone would have to get over, especially if they have doubts, is like the sound of your own voice. Like, even just when people talk, right? Like, they're like, oh, that's how I sound. I don't like that, right?
Yeah, I heard that tons.
Yeah, so like, if you feel that way just talking and then you try to sing, like, you're like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, you just gotta learn to like your voice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, learn to love your own voice.
Yeah, and I know it sounds like kind of cliche or like maybe even stupid, I don't know, but it's true. Like, honestly, if I didn't start taking those steps, I'd still be sitting here like, oh, like, all, like, why did I even sing? All bitter and I sound like crap, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't be back trying to, improve my vocal range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many years have you been doing, like, going to the teacher?
It was more consistent before, but I just recently started back, like, literally just last month.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I've been trying. It's just that she didn't have time for me.
Yeah.
Because she's busy. But yeah, so I don't know if you want to count that break. I think I had about a year break before that, so I didn't go. Before that, though, maybe like 3, something like that.
Because I remember when we went to Wisconsin in 2016, and I remember Ashley was sleeping in the back, and we were just kind of just talking about whatever, and I remember that came up, and I remember you said you were taking lessons then. So was it around that year or like the year before you started?
Yeah, it was before, because I remember that. I wish I could pinpoint when I started, but I know I was still in Western. Like, I was still in Western, and I still lived in town. And then I think I asked Courtney, because I knew she was doing lessons. And I was looking for one, like, just out of interest.
Yeah.
And I was like, who do you go to anyways? And then plus I've seen, like, my teacher stuff on Kijiji, I'm pretty sure. So it just matched up.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to try her. And then ever since I met her, I just really liked her. So yeah, I asked Courtney for info. So she sees the same teacher I do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's Ashley's cousin, huh?
Yeah, the one who does the taxes.
Is that what she also does?
Yeah, she does lots of stuff.
Yeah, just seems funny when people are like doing one thing, but then you find out they do like something else.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess mine's pretty easy when they're like, oh, I work at Nimki, but I'm also catering. I still try to teach cooking classes, but, you know, I also try to do podcasts. You know, like you try to run everything out.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, okay. I was just wondering that, yeah. Like about the teacher and how long you've been doing it. But so I was like probably about a couple of years in, right?
Yeah, I
Because
would
you said
say.
you were still in Western at the time.
Yeah, and I would never do the summers though. Like she had summer classes, but I would never take them. But it was mostly just because of finances.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I would take it every year that I was in school. I'm gonna say about 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then last year was the year I took a break. Because that was what I explained earlier. That's when all that went down. Kind of gave up.
Yeah, kind of just kind of being hard on yourself kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think the better thing is that you actually got back to doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you hear so many people that talk about not wanting to do it, didn't want to do it. It wasn't right for me in the first place.
Yeah.
And then, like, they never get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, makes sense. But like I said, at least you got back to it as opposed to most people. Because I remember, when was it? Well, actually, it was not too long after my dad passed away in 2017. I like completely just like on my exercising, my diet, my nutrition, everything. Like I just did not give a flying fuck about anything. So like I just didn't care. So like I just like added on poundage, didn't work out that much anymore. And it took me like that fall in this, was it? I guess I kind of went back to it, but like I didn't really feel like myself working out till just last year in September, when Ashley was in Toronto, and I went over for her birthday over the weekend, and I think I explained this in the podcast about my grieving that weirdly, but when Sean Roden won Mr. Olympia, after that, so after September 15th, I actually felt wanting to work out again. And then I got back to it. So like now, as of now, I'm really regular with working out, as opposed to when I was before, when it was like, it's 9 o'clock, screw it, no, just like do something else. As opposed to now, I'm like, it's 9 o'clock, I can at least get an hour in before I have to come back, take a shower, and go to sleep. But make sure my protein shakes and my overnight oats are ready to go for tomorrow morning, and then I do all that, like plan it out constantly. So now I'm back to that. But before, like I said, yeah, it was just, you know, kind of like what you're saying, how you got back to it eventually, which is always a good thing. It's just how I felt with that.
Well, that's good. That's good that you're back at it.
Yeah, like I said, it just takes a while.
Oops. Yeah, it does. And you got to be ready, I think. Like, no matter what it is, you got to be ready. Different mindset, like, and whatever that is that pushes you to go back or feel inspired, you know. I think that's good.
Yeah. You just never know what's going to do, right? Like, I knew losing my dad would hurt. I just didn't know it was going to do that much damage.
Right.
Like, I didn't think that I was going to get beat up that mentally and physically from it. That's just what I wasn't prepared for. So that was complete, like, you know, derailed. But yeah, eventually you just got to get back to it because it's not going to last forever. Everything.
And he wouldn't want you to either, right?
Yeah, because that was part of the reason why I started to heal after September 15th. So yeah, made sense.
That's good.
But yeah, so I was trying to just, I guess, share my story onto why about your getting back to singing.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. So you know.
Yeah.
You understand.
And knowing's half the battle.
Yep.
G.I. Joe. But yeah, so there's that mean dog.
Just staring.
I'm gonna bite you when you come back out.
It's weird. I never like. I know he barks at people, but I never see him actually like run up to someone and.
I was like, whoa. Okay, he grabbed Gene.
What was he doing? Like trying to bite at your shoe or something?
I think the ankle.
Oh yeah.
But I felt like my jeans get bit. That's why I was like, whoa.
Oh yeah. Jeez. Yeah, and he's even neutered. Still acting like that. Just res dog, I guess.
I was about to say that. Just real res dog.
Yeah, he's just resed out.
That's what happens when you live here too long. Just
Yeah.
end up getting real res.
Is this gonna be a real long one?
Well, no, I don't think so. I mean, it's at a decent hour. We're at 1:45.
Oh yeah.
It's not too bad.
Mhm.
Like, I think I might have told you that my brother's is probably the longest Suggles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just about 4 hours.
Holy. Yeah, definitely have to listen to that like on the go.
Yeah. Well, I'm breaking it into 2 parts. I was gonna do one massive, but then he was like, "No, I don't." He goes, "I don't care who you are. Nobody's that interesting."
Yeah.
For 4 hours, so I was like, I don't know. To be honest, I've listened to I think it was 5.5 hours. But like what you just said, I didn't just sit there and like zone out, listen to it. Like I was like food prepping, I was working out, I was going to work, I was driving somewhere, I was in the grocery store, but it was constantly playing. So like I would listen to it. So yeah, I've listened to really long podcasts before, so I just know how many other people would.
Yeah.
Because the majority of my podcast listeners listen off of the computer. Like SoundCloud will tell me how many people just went on the computer, went to the website, and pressed play and sat there and listened to it.
Really?
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
Like over 200 plays were maybe 3 or 4. Because altogether at this very point, I think I have 610 plays off of every episode that ever got uploaded.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's good. That's a start. That's actually really good.
And I had 50 countries?
Really?
Even if it's just one play.
Yep.
There were still Colombia, Chile, Ecuador, like a lot of southern American states. And then when you come to, like in America, I think it's the second biggest play. But in the Netherlands, I had 72 plays right in Amsterdam.
Really?
I don't know why. Like, it's not bad to the episode. It's just,
Yeah.
I just found it weird that in one day, the one episode I did got 72 plays just in the Netherlands. And then my usual, I think I have 7 people who are constant listeners because I can always count on 7 plays always being played. And then that's it. But I did have like, if you look in the Americans, like if you go to America on my SoundCloud and you click the cities, I've noticed a lot of the places that listen to it are all reservations.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're all nearby a city. And when I check the map, a lot of them are actually reservations nearby bigger cities.
Oh yeah.
So I was
Just
like,
like us.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, so like it kind of works out because then there's something, right? Like it's different, but it's at least it's something.
Yeah.
Because I even have plays in Germany. The strangest one is Japan, Tokyo. I got 8 plays from that city. So somebody, I was just thinking some Japanese person was like, well, I'm going to listen to some, like, some Indians.
Some
So they just play that and it's like, oh, this is pretty close.
Hang
That's
on.
pretty interesting. Is what I was thinking
Shift
anyway.
this for a second. Thirsty. For Zevia. Did you ever try these yet?
Yeah, I did.
You don't like them?
No, I do. I just like carbonated waters more.
Oh, yeah.
Like those Bublé's drinks.
Yeah.
I just get those all the time. Like whenever they're on sale, I usually buy like 4 or 5 cases. That way I'm just loaded up for like a while.
Yeah.
But I do get those now and then though.
I think, yeah, I don't get these as much as I used to. Yeah, it's more of a treat now.
Yeah, I mean, even though they're still like, calorie free and everything like that, I'm still just like, yeah, I don't want to like overdo it on those.
No, it's true.
But the root beer and cream soda ones are the best.
At first, I wouldn't drink cream soda once just because yeah, it reminds me of the old days. It used to.
Yeah.
One time when we were drinking, someone had the bright idea to use that as mix or a chaser.
Yeah.
And I just never got the taste out of my mouth since then.
Like of that stuff? So like the...
Cream soda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
it
cream
makes
soda.
me kind of wet. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. It's like even like later when you drink it, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, so I wouldn't drink it ever. But then when that came out, I was like, I'm still leery. Because I know it's not like the same pop.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't drink it for the longest time. Then he started getting it because he likes it.
Yeah.
Then I just try to sip. And I feel like it doesn't taste the same as regular cream soda. Or unless it's just me making stuff up. I don't know. But it didn't seem as bad. So, not that I would go and buy it, but I can drink one.
I was about to say, if it's there, you're going to drink it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think what in those days, the chasers were always just Coke.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's funny. Like,
and like nobody would ever be like, all right, let's get Coke. And they get a can or they get a, 500 mil. They have to get a 2 liter.
Yeah. It's
so like it's not, it's like you're double fisting like a 2 liter Coke and a bottle of CC. And you're straight away, and then that's it. You're just like doing that, and you're just like, okay. It's like nobody ever was like, yeah, can I get a glass, or can we like get some cans or something like that? It has to be the 2 liters. I don't understand that, but
you know what I've done before? Crazy. I made a mix of that, like Coke and CC, and I got it to pretty strong but comfortable. But what my crazy self did, I had a shot glass, so I poured a shot of that in there.
Yeah.
Took that back and then chased it with the mix. Right?
Just like, I'm going to step this up.
Yeah.
Bitches don't even know. Just like chugging that down.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy thinking about all that now, because...
Well, I mean, like, even in college, the most I ever did was... Besides, like, socially drink with my friends, like, when we'd go out, like, to bars or whatever. I remember the one thing I did is I got that Malibu.
Yeah.
But they had a banana flavor. And I used to take that and chocolate milk and mix it together.
That actually sounds good.
And obviously when I was doing it, I was like, hey, pouring them together and not thinking into like consideration that maybe I should have more chocolate milk than the actual rum.
Oh my God.
So then it'd just be like, ugh, like just real like
Strong.
It would taste like the chocolate milk was bad or spoiled, but then you don't want to waste it, so you drink it anyways, and then like you pour it, then you realize your problem, then you redo it, and then when you manage to hit it, you would get, like if you did do it right, you would get a chocolate milk and a slight banana aftertaste. That was it. I mean, I'm not a mixologist or nothing, but I was like, like sitting there like, man, I just like freaking invented the world, like feeling good about myself over a friggin' banana chocolate milk drink.
Yeah. Well, it sounded good, but when you describe it that way, not so much. Yeah.
Well, I remember being a kid. I don't think I've ever told this story on the podcast, but I remember when I first ever drank, I was 15 and a friend gave me Malibu. Like just warm, opened it, and I remember she was like, just drink it. I want to see how he reacts. And I was like, okay. And I just drank it and was like, bleh. Like, really, like, this is terrible. Like, why are you drinking this? Like I was really, like, baffled by it. And I don't know.
That reminds me, did you ever watch Can't Hardly Wait?
Oh, yeah.
It reminds me of that nerdy kid when he goes in there and he has a drink of beer and he's like, spits it out. And he's like, don't drink the beer. The beer has gone bad.
And doesn't he have a chart where he's like, I won't get drunk because I have this chart that'll tell me about how many drinks.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know what it's used for there when he's real drunk.
Yeah, he's just like, here, I want you to have that.
And he becomes like the hit of the party.
Yeah.
He's supposed to, he was supposed to infiltrate or whatever and get the jock, and
Yeah.
they're supposed to do something to him, get revenge, I guess. But
He kind of did, but at the same time, he did it to himself too.
I mean, that whole, I remember everybody watching that movie, like on the res. It was one of those res movies, like Blood and Blood Out.
Yeah. Classic.
The Bamba.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure everybody saw Selena when I came out.
Mhm.
And then like later, like when I got a little bit older, I remember Can't Hardly Wait was something everyone watched.
Mhm.
Because people were quoting it, sort of.
Yeah.
Like, so I remember all those movies. But I remember those specifically anyways was La Bamba and Blood and Blood Out. Those are the two I remember. And I remember watching Blood and Blood Out when I was a little too young because Suggo just put it on.
Yeah.
And I remember just watching it and being like, holy Christ, I never want to go to prison. Because like when you see everything that happens, you're like, there's probably big L's in every single prison.
What the heck?
That was my idea of it, so I was always too scared to do anything.
You know, I actually met someone who never watched La Bamba. And I was like, are you serious? I have it right now. I'm like, do you want it? You gotta watch it. She never watched it yet, but
No?
no, I'm gonna take it with me next time I see her. Like, here, you gotta watch this. I'm telling you.
That movie's awesome.
I know, I was like, be prepared to cry. I
Yeah.
don't care who you are, you're gonna cry.
That's the one part of that movie where you're just like, oh.
Yeah, it just builds and builds, and you're like,
Especially if you know what's going to happen too.
yeah.
Yeah, but and you're like, don't get on the plane, Richie. And then he does it
Yeah.
anyways. You're like, no.
And he's like, the first coin toss I ever won. It's like, no. lose the coin toss.
It's like I want an alternate take on that movie.
And
Yeah.
it just builds up more and more.
I know, because it gets real sad near the end when the mom's going crazy. Even classic Bob at the end.
Oh, yeah, that just like seals the deal right there.
I know, I was like, ugh. It sucks.
Yeah.
Thinking about that movie, you're just like, oh, why?
Right? Makes you want to watch it.
It's like, even though you know what's going to happen, it's true, though. Yeah, I'd watch it. And that was the other one, though, was Blood and Blood Out. Like, I remember quoting that movie so much.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun movie, though. But yeah, that was a movie that scared me away from, like, prison and stuff, where I was like, I don't want to go to prison ever.
Maybe that's a good thing then.
Yeah, because then I was just like, oh, heck, and being freaked out by everything. And yeah, I thought that's how all the gangs were and everything like that. I mean, like I said, it's an interesting movie.
Mm-hmm.
Watched too many of those, though.
Yep.
But yeah. So I don't know if you're going to continue your singing then
Yep.
and just build up to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I signed up for, I think it was 8 weeks. And she broke the summer up into 2 sections this time. She's never done that before. Usually she just has a straight summer one, and I think that starts in like June or July when she usually starts it. But she said she had a big request for like something in between, because normally people would be ending at the end of May, in the middle of May.
Yeah.
And then they just have this break, like right till June or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But from my understanding, she wanted to start back up right away in May. And then I think it went till the end of June, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then July and August are separate.
Okay.
Yeah, because she does it in like sections or terms.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is worth it to like get the full, the full package right away,
Yeah.
instead of just doing one at a time. Like paying per session. It's a good deal.
So is that like don't want to be like nosy on prices, but is it like moderately kind of all right? It's not like overly expensive kind of a thing.
I mean, I don't think so. Like, if it's something you really want to do, you'll find a way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but no, actually, I was cold too. But yeah, it just depends on the time. Like, you could get half an hour sessions, you could get 45 minutes or an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I've personally found, because I've done mostly half hours and 45 minutes. I've never actually done an hour, but just based on pricing and what you get out of it, I think 45 minutes is the best choice. I feel like half an hour is just not enough.
Yeah.
I don't think so anyways. 45 minutes, it's more comfortable, you can get more in. But then with an hour, like, obviously that would be your first choice time-wise, but I think financially though, like, for those extra 15 minutes, it's not, sorry to say, but it's not really worth it. I don't think.
I see. So like the sweet spot's 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you were to just pay straight up for a session, it would be about 40. Is that right? Yeah, 40. And then half an hour is 30. And then an hour, I think it's just straight up to like 60 or whatever. 50 or 60 bucks. But the way she does it is she has like special pricing too.
Yeah.
Like, if you do bundle, or the way you could do it is pay per session still, but get on that deal.
Okay.
I don't really know how she does it, but she's always gotten me the deal. So say like if I got half an hour sessions in a 14-week thing, so instead of paying the 30, she would charge me like 25 per session. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
It goes a long way. Like, I know it sounds like, oh, it's $5, but it matters.
Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely
Yeah.
see that. Did you have to find other? Oh no, you didn't actually. No, you didn't, did you? Like, to find other teachers? You just happened to just land on this one? Like,
Well, when I was looking, I had I think there's 2 other ones I had in mind, because of their pricing.
Yeah.
But I ended up going with her just because Courtney's worked with her, and like, I like the way Courtney sounds, and like, clearly she's getting a lot out of it. And then after actually meeting the teacher, then yeah, I was pretty well hooked.
Oh yeah.
Like, I really like her. When she gets too busy, she has like referred me to either her partner, which he actually sings too, and he's a teacher as well, so they have a shared business, I guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so she does some and then he does other people, and but
Awesome.
then they put this recital together too. I might be a part of that this year. We'll see. But anyway, that's besides the point. She has referred me to him. Nothing against him. It's just that I like her working with her.
I can see that though. Yeah. Like, you're used to one way, or her ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know, like, even though they work together in a business, he might have a total different take, like, than what you're used to.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see that, as opposed to, like, it's almost like if I was to train someone to lift weights and I explain my philosophy, and then somebody, and I'm like, I'm going to be gone for a year, I'm going to the moon, I'll be back later. And then, like, here's this other person, and I gave them somebody else, and that person has a total different take on weightlifting, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, like, I get what you're saying, because, yeah, you could get somebody who's, like, completely different, you're not used to, and might make you feel uncomfortable, and I don't know, I could just see it being completely different, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're saying that guy's not any good or nothing, it's just you're used to this way over here already, and what she's already taught you.
Yeah. And also, well, because she's, like, a musician anyways.
Yeah.
And, like, even graduated from, you know,
Music stuff.
music, whatever.
Musicology.
I don't really know what it's called, but yeah. So she has colleagues, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a given. She has referred me to another lady as well. And not that I wasn't open to her either, but I just really like her. I'm like, I'm sorry, I just want to work with you. Not that I wouldn't ever be open to seeing someone else. It's just that she's just someone who I've really come comfortable with, and I like her methods. I like the way she teaches. I like the way she describes things, how she'll cater to you however you learn. So, like, if hand gestures help, if explaining things and in a different way helps, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you're trying to achieve something, but she tries to describe what she wants from you. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'll just give you an example. Like, so if I wanted to give more power to my voice, instead of thinking up, then think forward. You know what I mean? Like, push your voice out forward.
Yeah.
Rather than thinking, oh, I gotta go up here, I gotta go higher. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just stuff like that. And just, like, her energy. Like, she's a really positive, optimistic person. She doesn't, I wouldn't say she criticizes you. She just more, like, gives you tips. You know what I mean?
Well, even if it is criticizing, wouldn't it be, like, constructive criticism?
Yeah.
So it's not like she's just like, hey, you sucked last time. Like she's straight up just like, well, you know, you could work on this a little bit more and stuff like that.
Yeah, just like, oh, I noticed on this little part, like, your voice wanted to grab, for instance, right? So then she'll give me tips on how to change things to help get rid of that. Or we'll just practice on that spot. Like, we'll literally just do an exercise, or, like, do it over and over. And she'll even slow things right down. Even if it doesn't sound like how you want it to at that moment, all we do is speed it up after.
Oh, yeah.
She just wants you to get the mechanics of what it sounds like in a slow form. Then it's kind of like language. That's how I think of it. Like, when you're teaching someone a word, you have to kind of slow it down, right?
Yeah.
So they hear everything. But then once they get more comfortable, then you speed it up. So it's like the same thing, same idea.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because I still kind of do that anyways, too. Like, even when I'm looking at words, even newer words in Oneida, I still break it down. As opposed to just, like, trying to say everything at once and, like, screwing it up. Instead of just, like, even, like, putting the finger over the entire thing and then just, like, saying the spot by spot and then just be done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good, though, that you found a teacher that you actually like. Because, I mean, I have, like, I don't know. Don't know where I was going with that, besides the fact, I guess, like I said, I'll definitely check out Long and McCoy, though, because that is something I do want to go with. I've never given up on piano. It's just I've never, when I got into health and fitness, that was something I kind of took back.
Right.
Because when I got into piano, I was about 14 or 13. maybe 13, and I got one of those. Might have been 1/3 of the piano, like that kind of big of a piano, and I would just like use that and practice with that, and it was like. But the one I got now is a full 88 keys, and it's sensitive to a piano, so it's like mimicking a real grand piano.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wanted to like play softly, I would have to like play softly.
Mm-hmm.
But if I really wanted to like hear the piano loudly, I'd have to press down on it really hard.
Mm-hmm.
So like it mimics it pretty well. So, and I've had it for about 11 years now.
Oh yeah.
Like I've had it for a while now that I think about it, because I remember bought it when I did a summer job once.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it was like $700 for the piano.
Oh yeah.
And then I went back. I went back and I bought a stand for it too, so I have an actual piano stand for it, like a full metal one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, I don't want to lay it like on a board or
Yeah.
get real res with it, because I was still living on res at the time.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that. So I went back and bought one of those stands for it too, just to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely something to look forward to though.
Yep. What was I gonna say? Oh, when you do finally take those classes, let me know how they are, because I know that my teacher actually, I think, and her husband or boyfriend,
Whatever he is.
well, I don't know if they're married or not, but I think they are. But anyways, yeah, I'm pretty sure both of them have worked in a place like that, like Long and McQuaid,
Mm-hmm.
before they started their own like thing. So if people like me coming across someone like them, like they're both good, they worked like somewhere like that before, I imagine it still have pretty good people there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And also I'm just wondering what else, like, I mean, just babbling now. I also wanted to know, because even myself, I was interested in that, like piano.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think it's the funnest.
Yeah, like that's if there's an instrument out there that I'm interested in, truly, it would be that.
Another reason why I say it too, because I've when I watch like even Snell play guitar,
Mm-hmm.
like you're still you just have the ability for 5 notes, right? Like, because you're using your fingers. With piano, you're having the ability to play 10 different notes at a time, depending whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you probably have a hand like mine, but in a woman version, where it's smaller, meaning you'd probably have to play more, like, rock beats and everything like that. Because, like, if you have the piano fingers, as they call it, those are the people that play, like, the, like, sonatas and, things of that nature, very, like, classical music.
Right.
Because their hands are able to, like, go across and stretch beyond the piano. But, like,
Yeah.
I remember Billy Joel talking about when he played piano, he said he's got short little fat fingers, so he has to, like, just play what he knows, which is, like, rock tunes and everything like that.
Yeah, I definitely would. My pinkies are tiny. They do not stretch.
That's the thing you'd find that when you play, there's notes that are like this. Like, Ray Charles's Mess Around?
Yeah.
It's exactly how it's played, is these 2 fingers are stretched, and it's almost like you're, that octave I was telling you, you're going from that C to that B, and you're bouncing like this. Because you're going dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun. So it's going like that, but it's really fast. But you can see his hand is like flicking like this.
Yeah.
I haven't got to that part. Where like,
Yeah.
when you see some piano players and their hands are like this, like they're flicked. Like it feels like my whole arm still has to move, as opposed to like just like
Yeah.
you see some that are just like flicking their wrist the whole time. I just have to make sure.
Yeah. No, that's good.
I think it's just right at the end.
Oh yeah. It's all good.
So is there anything else you want to promote?
Learn your language.
The top thing is learn your language.
Well, no, I wouldn't say like the very, very first thing, but that's definitely something I advocate for.
Yep. Whether you're Oneida or you're Mexican,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, just learn your language.
Yeah. Yeah.
For your dog.
Actually, I would like to extend that and say, not just your own language, you can start there, but be open to learning other languages as well. Because at one time, we were all multilingual. How do you think we communicated a long time ago?
It's true, right?
Yeah.
So like, even if like we were to run into like Hurons back in the day, I think Mohawks had problems with them. We were still like, how's it going? Not like too like straight up like, sorry. Yeah. But I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So like just multilingual, learn your language.
And also, I don't know if there's any parents out there that are listening, but I would just say that don't be worried about your kid not learning English. English is like the dominant language out there. It's everywhere. So, I mean, they're eventually going to learn it anyways. So I wouldn't even worry about that. And like if you're teaching your child like whatever it is, German, French, Oneida, Mohawk, Cree, Ojibwe, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to harm them. In fact, it will only help them, help their development. Yeah, I promote that too.
Promote a lot of that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's new.
What's that?
Well, so I think we're done.
Okay.
So,
what happened?
oh, nothing. We're just done. So,
okay.
is that all then?
Yeah, that's it for now.
All right. Well, we'll catch everybody next time. It was our time. Because, yeah, you were the second episode ever.
Was I?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I knew I was near the beginning.
Yeah, because I remember I did an introduction, like, oh, this is Get Ready, whatever. And then, like, the second episode was you. So now we're kind of catching up, seeing what you're up to.
Oh, nice.
Which is what we usually do, which I try to advocate for with people, like, once you whatever. But yeah, okay. So now that we found out, we can just keep going on.
Wait, when was our first one? I mean, you don't have to tell me the exact date, but...
I know it was 2017.
Was it?
Yeah, because I started doing these in 2017.
Wow. I still forget that it's 2019 sometimes.
I know, because it's so like, ugh.
Yeah. And just think, we're already 4 months in. It's wild.
I know. I guess the only reason why I'm excited for anything is because I'm like, yeah, there's good movies coming out.
Yeah.
That's about it, but
No,
I'm just like, everything's just speeding by.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Okay, that's all, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
What a great episode as usual. I hope you guys I hope everyone enjoyed that. So, we will have another episode ready, of course, as usual. Sorry for the late delay on this one, but I will get them out as much as I can every time on a Sunday. And if you want to be on the podcast, all you got to do is contact getready@gmail.com. Get ready with 2 R's @gmail.com. Let me know if you want to get into it, do an episode, maybe in catering, whatever you want to do. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast so we get more people listening to the episode, more or less people listening to it, and that way we can get out more episodes faster. I promise. All right. I hope you enjoyed the podcast, and I'll see everybody next time.